The Edge at 11 starts now.
Stabbed over clothing. A Pontiac woman is recovering tonight after an unthinkable violent act.
And Fox News' Dave Spencer has more on this latest crime and what has become a very troubled neighborhood.
Hey, put your hands up, come out now! Put your hands up, come out now! Hands up! Hands up!
Doorbell cameras are commonplace in the North Hill Farms apartment complex, capturing moments like this.
Hand up! Turn around! Walk back towards the sound of my voice!
The apparent arrest of a suspect accused of stabbing a 25-year-old woman. The reason, according to the sheriff's office, she was wearing the suspect's clothing.
It doesn't surprise me. It's something that has, even going back to kids going to school, deals with your tennis shoes are better than mine.
Philip Hutchins is often here visiting family.
Very familiar with the area.
And he knows about the recent history surrounding this apartment complex, which includes a man being set on fire just last month during an alleged prank gone wrong, and the shootings from April of last year, which took the life of a 24-year-old and injured 2 more. Days before that, a man was shot and left paralyzed on these same streets. Hutchins' theory, the problems are deeply rooted.
It's a troubled neighborhood.
Yeah.
A lot of people have different issues that are not being dealt with, that actually needs to be dealt with. And a lot of people are being quiet about it because the stigma they don't want to have tagged to them.
He says more outreach and tough conversations need to happen if this cycle is ever going to stop.
Now the person that did it is possibly going to be sent away for quite some years of something that is just unnecessary.
Hutchins does point out, while North Hill Farms has certainly seen its share of violence, the issue is not exclusive to this neighborhood.
It's better to get some help and come out and be like, hey, I'm a much better person because of the help that I received, as opposed to sitting back and doing nothing.
As for the stabbing, the victim was taken to the hospital suffering multiple stab wounds. Her exact condition is unknown at this time. The suspect, well, he's in jail awaiting charges. In Oakland County, Dave Spencer, on The Edge.
Just decided that he wanted to be a big bully and overpower me and block me into my house.
What started as a case of domestic violence ends with this woman's boyfriend being shot dead by police. Lana Price of Warren called for help last night after she says Kenny Beno threatened her with a knife. We're told Beno ran home and then was cornered by officers near the railroad tracks at 11 Mile and Van Dyke. During the confrontation, police say he was armed with an ice pick and he refused officers' orders to drop it. Police tased Beno, but when that didn't stop the threat, he was ultimately shot.
You think the cops may have been justified in shooting him?
Doing it. They had to do what to keep them safe.
You think he would have attacked the cops?
Yep, that he would attack them and hurt them probably.
4 Warren officers are on administrative leave pending the outcome of the ongoing investigation, and that is standard procedure.
He was found beaten in the field and crunched over.
Detroit police are investigating the suspicious death of a hearing-impaired man. The body of 28-year-old Lontez Johnson was found 2 weeks ago in a field near 94 Meringue. He was last seen with another hearing-impaired man at a Holiday House wine shop nearby. Police aren't saying much about this case, but we're told that this incident is still under investigation, pending a toxicology report. And 4 people are now charged for a hyperbaric chamber explosion that killed a 5-year-old boy.
And shocking information was revealed in court today as workers from the Oxford Center, including its CEO, faced a judge.
One of the co-defendants in this case was actively tampering with this particular hyperbaric chamber, and all of the evidence leads us to the conclusion that it was done with the permission and perhaps at the order of this defendant.
CEO right there, Tammy Peterson, Gary Markin, Jeffrey Mosteller, and Alita Moffitt are all charged in the case. Back in January, 5-year-old little Thomas Cooper there was in a hyperbaric chamber at the Oxford Center in Troy when it caught fire, killing him. Prosecutors believe the machines were altered to avoid required maintenance, and staff did not follow safety protocols.
Because they were not maintained properly, that those defendants involved should have known that there, was a chance, a reasonable chance that we would see this kind of outcome.
Peterson's bond is set at $2 million. Market and Mosteller had bond set at $250,000, and Moffitt's bond was set at $100,000.
So what is next after this, now that all 4 of them have been arrested and arraigned, and that civil suit still?
That's still going. It hasn't been filed yet, and we know James Harrington is pursuing that, and he's filed an order to be able to freeze all that evidence so they can now get their experts to look at it. And then those 4 individuals you see right there, we don't know if they're going to pay bond or any portion of that at this point, but if not, they'll be locked up at the Oakland County Jail until their preliminary hearing, and that's at the end of the month.
Great job following up on that story
and
breaking this story.
But at least they're getting to the bottom of that, police, and hopefully some resolution. Well, the mom charged with abandoning her 3 kids, leaving them to live among feces, trash, and other filth, now facing more charges.
Well, this comes after prosecutors say that she collected around $30 grand in welfare benefits for those children, and then she pocketed it. Prosecutors say that Kelly Bryant received that money over a 3-year period and didn't use it to provide basic necessities for her kids. Bryant is now facing welfare fraud charges on top of child abuse charges. She's also being held on a $50,000 bond.
Talk about our weather now. Hopefully you were able to enjoy another really beautiful day outside.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to wait for the next time. Things are gonna get chillier tomorrow, but when it comes to warm up again, Captain Rich Luderman, you got some good and bad news?
I have some great news. We're going to have another warm-up for Friday and Saturday. Now, it is cold and dry out there right now. We did have a weak cold front come through the area close to the noon hour, but just fair weather clouds quickly crossing the region from west to east, but nothing falling from the clouds. The bigger story is this blast of colder air. We're down 13 degrees from this time yesterday, down 25 degrees. Ludington, look at that, Alpena, 26 degrees colder. How about some great live shots right near Metro Airport? This is Merriman and I-94. No problems in southern Wayne County on the roadways. 61 degrees for a high today. 34 is the current reading, so we've come down quite a bit in the last 8 to 10 hours. 36 in Howe, 30 in Pontiac, and in Port Huron, 34 to our south in Monroe. Notice the direction of the flow is from the north and east, and that's bringing in those cooler numbers for tonight and for tomorrow. 19 degrees right now in Marquette, 36 Chicago, still relatively mild along the Ohio River in Cincy. They're at 50 degrees. So again, our weather stays quiet. It will be chilly tomorrow with sun and clouds, and then we're going to start to see warmer air return to the region beginning on Thursday. But for Friday and Saturday, we have chances at 70 degrees. Colder tonight, down to 29. Tomorrow's not a bad day, just noticeably cooler around here. More clouds than sun. 46, and then check out the 7-day forecast, back up to 67 Friday. A couple of showers around Saturday, but there it is, 70 degrees. That'll make it the warmest day so far this year. A bit cooler for Sunday. Brandon Tarrant, a full check at 4 a.m.
All right, Rich, thanks. A violent crash on I-75 leaves 1 man dead early this afternoon. Police say a road crew was blocking the left 2 lanes of southbound I-75 near Sashabaw Road. A charter bus was unable to stop, hitting a red pickup and causing a chain reaction crash that involved several vehicles. Right there you can see the driver, though, of the red pickup was killed, identified as a 67-year-old man from Goodrich. The driver of another vehicle was hospitalized. Southbound 75 was closed for hours. It's back open tonight.
So here's the dirt from Van Buren Township, and you see it over here. People are fed up with the roads, particularly one Beck Road.
Yeah, well, Beck Road has seen better days, and as Fox News' Dave Kinchin reports, drivers must enter at their own risk.
Right, so a lot of concerns about Beck Road here in Van Buren Township. We heard your concerns, and we went for a drive to check it out working for you. We're bumping this one up to the top of the list for Wayne County road officials. A rocky drive across Beck, a dirt road in Van Buren Township, right where the Fraternal Order of Eagles come to nest. At its worst, what did it feel like?
Driving 1 mile an hour, and you didn't know if you were going to make the next hole, or you're going to break your shock, or whatever was going to happen to your vehicle.
Debbie Gagnew is the bartender at Eagles headquarters. She says Beck Road has been in bad shape for the past 5 months and has lost track of how many calls they've put into Wayne County over that time period.
We called because the roads had ruts in and holes in it and everything else, and then they couldn't get out to us. They were going to get out with us. They had the number. Okay, we were on the list to be fixed. We were on the list to be fixed, and then we were never fixed.
She says business has suffered because of it.
So we have 700 members in here, and people called every day and nothing could be done. And we are a business.
Neighbors also voicing their concerns.
I've lived here 12 years, and I've called the ambulance maybe 6 times because I'm not in good health. They can't even get down our road. You know, the roads were bad.
We gave Beck Road a go, and it rocked our world too, but not in a good way. So we reached out to Wayne County to drive the concerns home. Their Department of Public Services gave us a statement that says, "We understand residents' concerns about road grading delays and want to assure the community that we are actively addressing the issue. Our Wayne County DPS crews have been working on the roads, including Beck Road, and we are committed to completing the remaining work as soon as possible. We encourage residents to report any concerns by calling 888 Road Crew and to follow our social media pages for daily roads maintenance updates." Well, we heard back from Wayne County. They say they're going to be back out here tomorrow on Beck Road doing work from North Service Drive to Michigan Avenue. That's a 2.3-mile stretch that they're going to be working on. Here in Van Buren Township, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Well, the list of candidates for Michigan's next governor continuing to grow.
Today, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist announced that he is moving up or hoping to move up a rank.
Show me a problem, I'll find you a solution. And if I can't find one, I'll build one.
Gilchrist has been in his current role since 2019, and if he's elected, he will become Michigan's first ever black governor. The engineer and Detroit native says that he hopes to build on the work done during the time with Governor Whitmer, including access to affordable housing, reducing health care costs, and growing Michigan's job market. There are now several candidates in the running for the Democratic, Republican, and Independent parties. Governor Whitmer has said that she is not endorsing anyone.
Rather than waiting till April the 2nd, threats going back and forth, tit for tat, I've agreed to suspend.
A possible cooling in trade tensions. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has backed down on electricity surcharge against the U.S. In response to Canada's tariff threat, President Trump said today he would double down on tariffs on steel and aluminum for Canada from 25% to 50%. Ford then spoke with the U.S. Commerce Secretary and agreed to remove the surcharge. This evening, the White House said it would pull back from doubling its tariff. Canadian officials are still planning retaliatory tariffs, specifically in response to Trump's tariffs on steel and aluminum.
House Republicans passed a bill to keep the government funded through the end of September. Today's vote was 217 to 213, with one Republican voting against it. The bill boosts defense spending by $6 billion while decreasing non-defense spending by $13 billion. The bill now heads to the Senate, where it will need bipartisan support to get passed. It will need to be on the president's desk before Friday's deadline to avoid a government shutdown.